All right, everyone. I think we're live streaming. Here we are on the Vision Train. Oh, I see Kyra's got the Support the Vision Train station banner up there. Thanks, Kyra. You rock. We're here with a little crew today, and we're talking about the momentum that's been gathering here, which has been really cool to watch through all the different platforms and ways that we weave through our mighty network, the Vision Train Station, and all the cool trips that have been coming together this past week and coming ahead. Allie, do you want to share a little bit about what's alive for you and what's been happening?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to go first, but I'm totally ready. There's been so much. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves and like talk about all the different things, but for me, it's just been a lot of downloads, a lot of deep listening, a lot of appreciation. I don't know if you guys have like, especially in money talk, like thought about that word and what it means, but it just means that something you already have gets more valuable somehow by, this investment of energy and time. So I've been really feeling into that. Yeah, this idea of, I just keep talking about when I'm talking about the campaign, how cool me and my friends are, and just really feeling into the friendship that is in this space and like the creativity there, all the allowing. It's just been really wonderful, honestly, gathering momentum. It was a bit frenetic for me. I don't know if anyone else has been feeling like really topsy-turvy wild energies lately. Um, but still to have a container this week that sort of said it's okay to just think things through and like enjoy the ideas as they come and to sort of be a little off your routine and whatever because we're gathering momentum, we're thinking about what we're about to build, and then next week and next week and next week, and it's just going to continue to build. So I'm really excited. That's how I'm feeling and what's coming up for me.
Yeah, who'd like to share next?
I can share.
Yay, Kyra.
Yeah, I felt like gathering momentum has been so synchronistic with my life at this current moment. Just like bringing my artwork into the world. I'm working on my website and online shop and like a fundraiser for myself to continue doing what I want to do. And my partner and I left the United States like 8 months ago, so now it's like kind of turning into that time of like you know, I have to sell my artwork to keep traveling and doing what I want, or I can go back to the United States. And I really don't want to do that personally. But, if it happens, it happens and it's okay. But I think either way, this time of me like putting in all my artwork together and doing like the business side is something I'm not used to at all. Like I kind of stay away from that. Um, and I've asked people for help, but it's kind of pushed me to do it myself. And yeah, through this journey of like looking at all the artwork I made from last year, which is like 298 pieces, and doing a bi-weekly trip or 2 times a week. I do a trip 2 times a week on Monday and Wednesday called Daily Vision Deep Dive. And for the fundraiser, I decided to go with the themes of each week. So last week being gathering momentum. So basically having conversations of like, how can we gather the momentum to like start creating artwork every day? Or just like in the day in general, what do we have to do to prepare for making whatever, needs to come out or wants to come out or a lot of the conversation did like talk about self-care and like mental health, making sure that in like all the foods that you're eating is good, taking care of your body and mindness and wellness is so important to step up to the easel or to like the paper or wherever you're making art at to be able to put it on and make art. And yeah, it's been really nice small groups to talk about um these conversations to inspire other people and like in the theme of gathering momentum, it's pushing me into like I guess a role, putting myself out there, speaking, and yeah, pretty much that. So it's been really fruitful.
Choo choo.
Choo-choo.
Yeah, it's been beautiful to see all the things that you're doing and how you're, we're kind of reflecting off of each other and we're making stuff up as artists. That's what we're constantly doing. And as humans, I mean, I really believe that we're all artists and we're in a phase of also coming to terms with that, maybe, with this era of that we're in, that, what does it mean to be human? And what is it that we uniquely can do? And us being creators, we're making up what's valuable to us, what's of value, and so I think it's a really interesting theme that's happening right now with this, like, you know, what does it mean? What is our value? What is it that we're creating and inviting into our lives? So, yeah, what anybody else want to share on this topic?
Yeah, a little early. Oh, Ali was mentioning earlier the prompt for sustaining and guiding. What does the vision need in order to remain alive? And I thought that was a really nice question to pose because it really had me reflecting on like we were kind of joking around like what powers the vision train is not coal, it's dreams and hopes and intentions and stuff. And it's kind of I think where a lot of the community is artists and everyone's having their own financial struggles, just showing up is really inserting that energy that really keeps things moving. So all those different ways of like when you ask like what's the value, how can you contribute, I think just showing up is the biggest thing that keeps it alive, is the life force of the whole train itself, but also then just finding little ways to incorporate it into like conversation as invitations to others. And where I find it to be like the resource and value is really what it opens up in just conversation with people and just basic invitation of like, as grownups, you can kind of invite someone to play with you, in the most innocent way possible. And it really fosters an environment that I think really finds experimentation to be a courageous thing and rather than something to be judged. Yeah, choo choo. So I really do. I value that space for that.
Yeah, I can definitely second that because this space has really helped so much. Like, I mean, I haven't been on it as long as some people, but ever since I have known about it and have been on it, it is just such a creative space and a supportive space. And we have been doing a lot of talking this week about how you can create the structures to allow you to make your art and have that space that's inviting and maybe clutter free, and you've set aside the time that is going to be your time when you are going to experiment and play and do the daily visions or work on a bigger piece, but you've got that in your mind already that that's my couple of hours here, or this is my morning here, or my afternoon there, or whatever it is for your individual time schedule. But just to carve that out and to be aware of like self-care and just having that time in nature. And I was saying about like just walking barefoot on the earth, and just grounding and just going into nature and just being with the trees and all the stuff that we all know about, but just having that as part of your ritual of how you show up in the world. And then that's going to make you show up to your easel and actually create those artworks or write those poems or play that music or do whatever other beautiful creative thing you fancy doing. And today we were joking about the fact that we'd much rather be on the train making art than watching soap operas or something else, like watching some violent film that's just going to bring your energy down. And I guess it's all about like sort of manifesting, which I know that word's been overused, but manifesting the type of creative existence that we want to have in this world, and then how the ripples of that go out, as Julie said, to others as well, because you tell other people about the train and you try and bring them in or get them inspired and just show up. If you show up in your life in a more positive way, that's just going to ripple out as well. So much value. And yeah, and in terms of sort of wealth, I mean, it might not be like monetary wealth, but there's that abundance of having those connections and that love and that, real supportive community, people that have got your back and will listen to you when you're chatting too much, like I do sometimes. Thank you.
All right. Um, I've been running this class. It's kind of a new class. It's like Proteus, human expression through dance and movement. And it's really handy having these prompts every week because it gives me that little bit of direction I need to structure the class. Because there's so many different ways you could structure a class. Or what I tend to do is get into the habit of doing the same thing. I think, okay, I'm going to do something for the body, so I'll start off with the body, then I'll incorporate the voice. I'll say I want the voice working as well, so I'll do some or and then we'll maybe move up to a kind of visualization. So I've got like a very clear path. But somebody coming along and saying, well, this week it's going to be about wealth. I'll say, okay, I'm going to change things about to fit in with this week's theme. So for Proteus, I was focusing on moving with abundance, abundant movement. Like we can enjoy our experience of movement, and the enjoyment of our experience is abundance. That was a good class. I really enjoyed doing that class. I really enjoyed feeling my body, being abundant, appreciating, loving my body, enjoying the movements. This is abundance. This is being. So that's just a 1.5 hour class, 1 30-minute class. Then on to the next class. It's straight after it. So it's just in an hour slot is the meditation. Again, I kind of was going to get into the habit of following a path, a similar path. I was digging a trench, perhaps. And once we start to render a trench, it's difficult to get out of it because we're creatures of habit. So having this prompt of wealth, I thought, what could I do with the meditation? Well, the law of attraction. It's all about the law of attraction. So we're thinking about the meditation circle of all the members who took part in the circle. It was a small group today, but a good group. And we're like batteries, and we share our energy together. And we're manifesting for the train to get the funds that it needs to continue to grow, to continue to be this positive life force that can touch people. And you need money and things. We need resources. These are important. And I think that it's not selfish. If you want money, it's like, I want money, I want a Ferrari, I want a car. That's selfish. Why do you want it? Why do you want it? Why do you want a car? Why do you want it like a Ferrari? Like, obviously, you need like a car to travel. But this is a positive thing. It's a beneficial thing for other people. So I don't feel bad about trying to manifest money for this project. But then we can think of ourselves as well. So we move from manifesting for the circle, for the train, to manifesting for ourselves as individuals, to putting on that oxygen mask. Give me an oxygen mask so I can breathe and I can move about this plane and I can help the other passengers. That's kind of what the manifestation is about. We need a reason. It needs to be for something. So that's kind of where I am with that. So I'm looking forward to the next prompt, looking forward to moving forward, taking the momentum from the initial week and developing it and evolving. And we're all here to evolve and develop together.
Holly, would you like to share?
Yes, I think what everyone's saying about the collective, that to me is also the meaning of momentum. In my mind, what keeps showing up as like, you have like a pipe of water with one drop going down, it would go down slowly, and you get more drops of water, and it's like whoosh, and that's the flow that you need. And in my own life right now, it's coming in because I feel like I'm meeting a lot of other artists in a new community and atmosphere where I'm living, and it's like we're all kind of going in the same place. So why don't we all hook up, even like water molecules, bond together and flow there. And yeah, water is probably a good metaphor for the resources too. You need that life force. You need to water the plants. You need to drink the water. All of it is what keeps us alive here. And yeah, this community, I haven't been connected enough, and then I come back and I feel the tingles and the good energy come through, and it's exactly what we need.
So interesting that you're talking about this sort of flow like water in a river, because I was watching a video earlier about ley lines, and I used to kind of see them as like just lines that are almost carved onto the the earth, but the way it was being described was more like energy flowing and this movement of this energy. So yeah, I've been thinking about that and how we can sort of connect into these sort of energy lines as well, and different sacred spaces. So, but I feel like this is a bit of a sacred space on the Vision Train, is how I see it, because it's got a lot of positive energy, and I always feel like re-energized after coming on here. If you're kind of feeling a bit low on energy and then or tired or something, and then you come on, and then before you know it, you feel like you are in this. So maybe the Vision Train is riding along some ley line. I don't know, but that's just something that came into my mind when you were talking about the flow in the water. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I want to riff off of that because of this painting behind me. That's also what we've used for the fundraiser, gathering momentum, and the ley lines. See the ley lines? And they're connecting. And when I painted this, what I was envisioning, because this is kind of like envisioning the earth, and you can see, mountains and cityscapes and stuff. But then these dots, these are light nodes of communities and individuals, and building the network, building the resource lines, building the support lines of mutual aid, right? Of support, of like listening lines of, that there are so many people out there, and I believe day by day that are waking up and like becoming more connected to what their purpose is, and their role here. And as things get harder, this is what happens. It's like we're
Yeah.
creatures that adapt, right? And then I think we're being faced more and more with like who we really are and what's maybe really going on, and these questions are maybe coming at people in a way that can be scary, but that are also pushing us towards revelation in a way. And I think that I feel very deeply, and I feel like I get affirmation of this often, is that the arts and that creativity and community, all of these like words that we use all the time on the train, are going to be these foundational tools to anchor us during these times of change and these times of transcending this kind of like competitive and survival tech, like what Scott was saying, ruts, habits, into interdependence. What does it look like when there's enough for everyone, when everyone is included? And so this theme of abundance, right? It's so interesting when we go deep into that and consider that on a collective level and then very much on the individual level. And when we put ourselves out there, just like we are now with the Vision Train, putting ourselves out there and doing this fundraiser, asking for more than we've ever raised before, right? From also so much of the collective where we're like, everybody's just, barely making it to a degree, right? But what could we do when many, many, many people help create this momentum together, right? And what it does is it triggers a lot of also maybe fears that are in there. And unless you get exposed, you can't see them. And I just want to say on a personal level, like you guys, I think know, and maybe some know that are watching the stream or will watch later, I've opened up a fundraiser or an auction of some of my work, like I think 30 pieces. They're prints and some originals and some drawings. And I just chose this collection that felt like resonant and put it out there. And I've been confronted, like I have been every time that I've done something like this, in a way of just like, oh God, nobody loves me. All the lines that have been built over time, it's just a facade. You can't reach the people that you want to reach. All the algorithms are fighting against you. All this effort and then the feedback too, like, oh yeah, I'm not in a position right now to buy some art. I mean, it's such a luxury too, if you think about it, when you need to put food on the table and pay rent or whatever it is, it can be such a luxury art. So there's all these kind of like interesting contradictions within this, and then within the self of feeling like, well, nobody loves me. And I know that's not true.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and I stand here with like so many others that have, I've been, instructor, or I've been kind of like the one parting the way in some ways, and, behind others parting the ways. But to feel like I'm not able to provide, and that I'm not able to be successful in a way that can help everyone else be successful. Oh, it's so confronting. And, at the same time, it's like, but this kind of vulnerability is what we need. I know that I need, because it's like, if I am being, threatened, if an aspect of me is feeling threatened and insecure, what is that? And can we go deeper into that and allow that to be? Can we grieve something that needs to maybe be let go of? Can I, consider also, wow, the ideal and the idea of who I should be is also maybe not, that's maybe an ideal that is something that is not real. And at the same time, like, allow this, it's like opening ourselves up to the flow of what wants to be. And you never know what's around the corner. I mean, today there's a beautiful human out there that did buy the painting of the title of my of the auction, the tunnel vision painting. And I feel so grateful, that they just came, we made on that piece like a buy now price. And that happened, and so it's like, you have to remember that you don't know who's watching and who's going to step up. And this person hasn't bought any of my art before. So it's it's somebody that's wanted to. So it was the right opportunity, but it's so easy when you put yourself out there. And I just want to say this to my artist friends here, and Kyra, who you're getting ready to launch a website. It's a lot of work that you put into that, all your art and then nobody buys anything. Oh my God. You can be crushed so easily. But don't worry, and to keep going and to also take the feedback and learn and be like, well, that was a good idea. Maybe I should have done that a little bit differently, planned a little bit more ahead. There's always that kind of feedback too, that we have to take with a grain of salt and just be honest, I think. So, and there's no one right way. We're all gonna, and is there the perfect astrological time and date, you know, to do things? I think, yeah, Scott writes in the chat, how do we measure success? And I feel, and so somebody just said this earlier, I get on the train and I, get to see your faces, and we're not physically together, but we're sharing our precious time together on the space station of the Global Art Jam. And it's true. Like when I leave and I feel your energy, I feel your life energy, even though we're like not physically together, I feel nourished and I feel seen and I feel like cared for. And that's really valuable. That's a kind of success. And yeah, so, and I know we have a trip. It's already, oh my gosh, look at us. We're already 20 minutes after the hour, and Scott has a train that pulled into the station 20 minutes ago and is like, come on, guys, we're going to go do some dancing. But do you mind if we share real quick our newsletter that went out? So anybody that's watching this, and for the records, Allie has been putting together these beautiful newsletters and writings. These are deep dives. And I just want to share this real quick and make sure that y'all know you can go to visiontrain.org to find everything you need to find for the fundraiser, for supporting the fundraiser. And we're just going to look at the newsletter here real quick. Allie, yeah, do you want to share a little bit as we go through?
Yeah, man, it all came together so fast. I can't believe it's only been a week, first of all. Like, it's crazy. It's like been the most timey-wimey thing in the world. Um, but yeah, just looking at this image, like thinking back to like just a couple weeks ago, we didn't even have this put together yet, which is just like a testament to the amazing work that we do. And it's really just like taking on a life of its own. So I'm excited to see. Yeah, this is the second in the series.
I just want to say this image too. This is a compilation of a few different photos, but this back here is with this crew at Burners Without Borders Summit, where we all drew our train cars out, and this creating of our, bringing our voices out and like drawing out our visions is something that, I think the train is just in the long run. It's like that's kind of what we're doing, and then sharing them with each other. Yeah, so one week of gathering momentum. Momentum has many forms. And so you can jump on here through all the way through August. We're going to be jamming out here. And in our report, yeah, this gathering momentum report, we've raised 2,147. Thank you everyone that's contributed. 8 generous donors. We've got 4 new Express members, 8 artists now. I think there's 9 today, and a few more that are coming to register for this embodied vision workshop I'm doing on August 8th. Look at all these 8s. 8 unique trips hosted by 3 conductors around this gathering momentum subject, and more than 14 hours spent together on the new gathering momentum trips. That's awesome. Yep. And so the tunnel vision auction, that I've got going ends this Sunday. So if you want to check that out or know somebody that might want to check it out, please share. And
I feel like that's a cool thing to talk about, how we imagine doing this fundraiser. So like the more that we're putting the word out, people are starting to really, especially from the outside in, get the understanding that we truly have built this like whole ecosystem and all these different pathways of plugging into the Vision Train station, which can be overwhelming maybe at first if you don't have like a crew member to like welcome you aboard and everything. But so just want to say hi, I'm Allie. I'm one of the engineers. Amanda, of course, our beautiful founder, another one of our engineers. Kyra Joy and Scott are both conductors, and everyone else, including ourselves, are part of the crew. And if you come join us, you'll also be a part of the crew. But all that to say, any of the revenue that comes into the container of the Vision Train Station during the 6 weeks is going to be counted towards our goal of $33,333. So it's really exciting to get to measure like all the different revenue streams and different donation pathways and ways of participating, and getting to share with you guys like on a weekly basis has been really fun.
Yeah, totally. So like my auction that ends this Sunday, I am donating half of all the proceeds to the Vision Train. So that you'll see the number go up on our Vision Train fundraiser when that happens. And then same thing with Embodied Vision. So any of like however you want to participate, but even also just sharing and talking about it with others, helps build the energy. And we're all curious, what is it that we can do to continue to build the momentum and build the connections and the resources that are supportive in these times. And creatives. I think we all see creativity as this anchor. I think that's one of the main anchors for all of us that gather here. So yeah, week 2 is exploring money and value.
Yeah, and I know one thing that's been coming to mind in all of my different like listening practices, and as I've been feeling into this week, is like we're getting ready to say some of the quiet parts out loud, but we're going to do it with kindness. We're going to do it with honesty and with authenticity and with creativity, like you said, as an anchor. But I can just feel it getting ready to happen. And already, like on the trips leading up to this one, the conversations have been really like forthcoming, vulnerable, honest, and like pushing on some of our edges where as artists maybe we don't want to talk about the business aspects or the grinding aspects. We want to enjoy the art, right? And why do we have to have a second job, or why do we so all of these things. And I'm just really excited to have those conversations, but also the deeper conversations about like, what does value even mean? How are we assigning that? What is valuable to you? And what does it mean to be resourced? How are you resourcing the things that you value? And who are you doing that with? So, yeah.
Yeah, so if you get the newsletter, read all the good stuff in here because Allie's a great writer. And so this Friday art jams, always on Fridays. This is something that's continued off of the Goldcast. Shout out to Berge. I also saw that he did just drop another portion of his last set. But yeah, these Friday art jams, and they're kind of a place to distill and to gather. And every week they're going to feature a different conversation and different hosts. And yeah. Thanks. Scott is going to take us into a Summerside Trance Art Jam in just a bit. Yeah, so also you can see all the live offerings in your time zone by clicking on, going to our Mighty Network, going to the Vision Train Station. And that's the easiest way to get on board. And you can make a free account on there, or you can become a Vision Express member and have access to all the different amazing recordings that has been a part of like what has come out of the last fundraiser. So much infrastructure has been made, and this is really something that we hope to like support, the legacy of art at this time that has come through this community. And it's like the art of community in many ways, like creative community of like shared values in many ways around, wanting to expand our understanding of the world and spirit. And, the interconnectedness, I think, of all things is something that we all agree upon, right? Even though our art may look different and where we live in the world might be different, but what is it that connects us is so interesting to me. and it's to be found. I mean, and that's where it's like so important more than ever is to like listen to each other. And I love to make art and to listen to inspiring conversation and music,
Hmm.
and to do that at the same time with others. That's what we've realized is possible through, you know, this platform of Zoom, and then now streaming to YouTube. So
Yeah, I guess that's also always worth saying while we're on the live stream for anyone that doesn't even know maybe what an art jam is. I don't, sometimes I feel like we made that up, the Vision Train Art Jam. But we just get together live on Zoom and we all listen to the same music at the same time, and we all create in our own space at the same time together. And that is an art jam. And you can do it in person, you can do it online, you can do it hybrid. And it's one of the favorite things that we do on the train is like our signature offering.
yeah, I mean, that's basically the foundation. And you could be doing all kinds of things. I do my dishes sometimes and tune into the art jam because
Yep.
you can artistically, you can creatively do your dishes intent with intention. So what makes art visionary?
Mm.
Maybe intention. That's part of
Attention,
it.
intention, decision, and precision. Right, Scott?
Mm.
Well, that's a chain of action. It's a chain of movement. You know, but like if just like
Visionary
from
movement.
attention that I put my left foot down, like oh I can see there's a stone there. Okay, my intention is to walk around it. So I'm just gonna like move my foot with precision. Oh well, I'm gonna make the decision to move my foot, and then I'm gonna have the precision of actually moving my foot. But like what was your question again? Sorry, because I did think of something else.
Oh no, I was just tying it into what Amanda was saying, and now I've followed your rabbit hole and I'm not sure anymore.
Something else did
No,
come to mind that was poignant, but
no, it was attention. What we had this really lovely conversation earlier that we were just like, it was so juicy. We didn't want to press the live button, but you were talking about attention, intention, decision,
decision, precision.
precision. And that was a
Chain.
really, and it's like the full cycle, because when you have an idea, when you have a vision, you got to,
Vision.
there you have a responsibility to. I mean, you could stay in the visionary realm, but you also have a responsibility to share it, for it to become a real being. And if you don't share it, it will never be given. And each one of us has a unique angle, and this is where it is so beautiful to inspire each other to actually do the work. I
So
mean,
this is where you're
to
in tension,
external.
your inner tension to make the world a better place.
Hmm. Yeah, I was feeling that too. It definitely felt like that really cool, like reflective, going in and out to be able to gain those insights and that new perspective. Yeah, I really appreciated that framework.
Yeah, and I just want to shout out to Chris, who's one of the conductors on the train, hosts um, is it the Night Owl? You do it on full moons, and Chris is an awesome DJ and collage artist. You do all kinds of things, and yeah, do you want to share anything about what's alive for you? We're talking about the valuing and abundance and.
Val, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting more into painting now, and that's exciting for me. Kind of transitioning, trying to just do more paint pieces, like rather than just collage, you know.
Yeah.
So that's like happening for me artistically, and which I'm really enjoying, and I get so much inspiration from the Vision Train for that. I feel like my visual art vision is like growing and evolving, and yeah, I guess just talking about abundance. I feel like something that I've been thinking about lately is just like doing your practice, but like not getting not too wrapped up in your head about it, and just like and just doing it, and not taking it too seriously. Because I feel like when you're like when you have a goal and you're trying to achieve that goal, and you try to think about it too much, I feel like that might block yourself, as opposed to kind of just like going with the flow and just like following what feels good, and so yeah, I mean that's some things that I've been tossed around myself. Yeah, and I like this theme, like gathering momentum. It's fun to like think about this collectively, as a group, kind of get behind this idea and this concept of building, gathering momentum, and I feel like when we all get on board with that, like a real momentum starts to build, as a group and as a collective, and so I really I think that's a cool, like I like this, I like the direction of what's happening right now with this this current phase of fundraising and continuing to build the Vision Train, and I just think it's a good, cool direction, and it feels energizing for myself to be a part of it. Like, and I haven't been on. I've been working a lot. That's why I've been missed the last couple of conductor meetings, but starting to work a little bit less, so I'm going to be on a bit more. So
Thanks.
yeah.
It's the ebb and the flow, and it's
Yeah.
amazing that the space is still here. And like, just to all of the conductors and individuals, engineers, crew that have been a part of the train over the years, we wouldn't still be here without everyone, you know? And it's this kind of like this collective nurturing of the space that has become a real place, even though it's in space. Yeah. So cool. Well, I know we've gone over quite a bit today, but trains are very much need to be on time because it's heavy machinery on tracks, but we have a little bit of flexibility here with though, and our conductor Scott has something set up for us. So if you want to come join us on the jam, come get on the train. Same Zoom ID as 6 years, and you just have to go to visiontrain.org, get on the schedule. You'll find us. It's not very hard. You just have to go through registration once, and it's free. But we are open to all ways of support. And thank you, everybody. It's an honor to be with you here. Yeah. All right. So we'll close out. Choo-choo. We'll close out this live stream, and we're going to step into the next trip. See y'all there.